Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk about how we can evaluate some complex fractions. Well, first of all, what is a complex fraction? It's where we have a fraction where we have a fraction in the numerator or the denominator. So it looks a little bit weird, right? We have like a fraction and then divided by another fraction. So there's just a lot of horizontal fraction bars going on. So it can be a little confusing, but we can follow some steps in order to solve them. So first of all, we want to rewrite it as a horizontal division problem. This always helps you see it better. And then you can know, okay, well, if I'm dividing, I'm supposed to keep the first fraction, flip the second fraction, or take the reciprocal, and then change from division to multiplication. So that's kind of a little bit of step one. Sometimes we might have to simplify a little bit before we get to that, but we'll see as we keep going. Do we want to simplify the denominator, or this could be the numerator? If we have an operation happening in the numerator or denominator, we want to simplify that first. Make sure in our numerator and denominator we just have one fraction, not an operation of two fractions. We want to simplify each part of the fraction before we begin the division. And then we perform division by multiplying by the reciprocal. That's what we talked about, kind of the KFC method, keep, flip, change, that we've done in previous videos. So let's jump right in. Number one, we have -1/2 divided by 6. So I'm going to rewrite this horizontally, -1/2 divided by 6. Now when I see that, it looks a little less scary, right? So now I know, okay, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to change this to multiplication, and let's write this as the reciprocal of 6, which would be 1/6. Now we can multiply straight across. -1 times -1, or -1 times +1 would be 1. And then 2 times 6 would be 12. So our answer here would be -1/12. All right, number two, we have a mixed number actually in our numerator, and then we have -3/4 in the denominator. So we did a previous video on how to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction. So if you look back through my previous uploads, you'll see that, but we're gonna do that right now. And we do that by the process of what I call the backwards C. So I'm gonna do 2 times 2 and then +1. So 2 times 2 would be 4, +1 would be 5. So this would be like -5/2 divided by -3/4. Okay, so now we can write that horizontally. So -5/2 divided by -3/4. Now we use our keep, flip, change, right? So -5/2 times -4/3. So we take the reciprocal of 3/4. Now we multiply straight across. Notice that we are multiplying a negative times a negative, so our answer should be positive. 5 times 4 would be 20, and 2 times 3 would be 6. So we get 20/6, and that is an improper fraction, but it can be reduced. So we could rewrite this if we divide the top and the bottom by 2, it would be 10/3. So that'd be 10/3. Okay, now if the question wants you to write as a mixed number, then we can divide that. How many times will, or what number will go into 3 get us closest to 10? Well, that would be like 3 times, right? 3 times 3 would be 9. So this would be 3, and we had 10 up here in the numerator, and we just took 9 away because we did 3 times 3. So we would have 1/3 remaining. Okay, so the answer to number 2 would be 3 1/3. All right, number 3, we have -1 2/3 times -3/5 divided by 1/3 squared. So let's simplify the numerator first. Let's do the backwards C right here. So 3 times 1 would be 3, and 3 plus 2 would be 5. So this would be like -5/3 times -3/5. And then we're dividing by, and this would be 1/9 because we're going to square 1/3 times 1/3, and that would be 1/9. Now notice what we got in the numerator. Okay, these are reciprocals, -5/3, -3/5. So they're actually going to cancel each other out, or they're going to become 1. So it becomes 1 divided by 1/9, which we could then rewrite as 1 divided by 1/9, 1 times 9. So our answer to number 3 would simply be 9. And that is how you can evaluate some complex fractions.